Now here we are again with Bernie Sanders saying the billionaires should not exist. Now, where does this come from? Well, one place it seems to come from, of course, is the faulty and erroneous idea that the economy is a fixed pie, or that it's a zero-sum game, meaning if I benefit, someone else must have lost an equal amount to the amount I've benefited. This simply falls flat on its face with any inspection at all. If I have $1 and you have an apple, and I voluntarily give you the dollar in exchange for the apple, I win because I wanted the apple more than the dollar, and I got it, and you win because you wanted the dollar more than the apple, and you got it. It's actually pretty simple, but Bernie Sanders would have you believe that somehow the person who received the dollar is now richer, and you who received the apple are now poorer, have nothing to show for it, and received nothing in this exchange. This is obviously simply not true given reality. You who received the apple have had a need or a want or a desire fulfilled. Both of you are better off. It would be disingenuous to suggest that you lost $1 in that exchange and nothing further needs to be said. You've just been exploited. That would be a complete and utter misrepresentation of what occurred. But judging by all the rhetoric Bernie Sanders and his followers spew out, I can come to no other conclusion other than that is what they truly believe. They really think that a billionaire only has that money because they must have taken it from someone else, and that someone else received nothing in return. That is not how it works. The economy is not a zero-sum game. It is not a fixed pie. The mere existence of billionaires does not mean others are suffering to a proportionate degree that you have billionaires. The pie of the economy, money, goods, and services can and does grow, and it benefits everyone. Now, rich people are a part of a healthy society and a healthy economy, with the exception, of course, of wealthy people who obtained their wealth through coercive means, namely through influencing legislation and being well connected to the government to rig the game in their favor. I have no respect for them, and their wealth is ill-gotten. On that, perhaps Sanders and I would agree, except for the fact that ironically Bernie Sanders is one of those rich people whose money comes from the government pointing guns at innocent people, but I digress. But I'm not sure if Bernie Sanders and his followers realize just what rich people do for this country. Yes, they hire people and provide jobs, and that's great, but the capital investment they lay out is extraordinarily beneficial for everyone in society. They put huge sums of money on the line to invest in product development, capital goods, the tools, the raw materials, the research and development, everything under the sun to provide a product for you that you want. If you want to call that greedy, I may quarrel with you, but even if I were convinced that that's simply greed, then so be it. We all benefit from their greed, so it would be a moot point at best. The other slightly frightening thing to point out is the slippery slope Bernie Sanders and his followers will go down. He says billionaires shouldn't exist. Am I to believe that he is going to stop there? What about people with hundreds of millions of dollars or just tens of millions of dollars? Why not them too? What's the difference? If you had just $10 million, as long as you're smart, you could easily never work again. In terms of surviving, you'll be just fine. So why not target them as well? You see, this is absolutely the road he wants to take us down. But as much as Bernie Sanders criticizes rich people and says he's going to do something about them, the one thing he never says to his followers is that by doing something about those rich people, he's also saying that you will never be rich, you will never be well off, you will never be able to depend on yourself to get some financial security through goals that you've achieved, because Sanders wants to take it all so he can provide it all, and that, by the way, is the real negative-sum game. Government taking money from people, filtering it through bureaucrats, department heads, red tape, and bloated overhead. That is where money, wealth, resources, products, and services truly go to die. But as long as you can be brought to trust those who reside in Washington, D.C., you're going to have a nice, warm, ignorant blanket of security wrapped around you. Well, there is no worse deal that I can think of than that. And by the way, what do you think these billionaires are going to do? They're going to say, peace out and good luck, I'm leaving. And now you can kiss goodbye massive amounts of investment, production, economic activity, employment opportunities, and at the same time, as Bernie Sanders himself has said, the middle class will have to put up with higher taxes for everything he wants to do. This is injecting cyanide into the economy. To still support this guy is insane. Nothing more. But that's all for now. Like, sub, share, all that cool stuff, and take it easy.